And good morning from the last day of WonderCon 2024. It is Sunday, March 31st. Happy Easter for those of you who celebrate Easter. Today's our last day. We're going to go through, not to go crazy, but I still have a little bit of money left and I still want to find one more book. And for those of you who have been following along the last few videos, you know it's been a kind of a rough start to the trip for me. Lost my favorite 3/4 zip three-quarter zip sweater. I lost my chapstick. But you know what? Good news on that front, guys. I actually found it. My chapstick. Still can't find the 3/4 zip. I don't know where it went to. I know I brought it back to my room. I know it was in my bags. I had it wrapped around that La Masa book so it didn't get damaged in transport. Man, I gotta figure that out. But hey, let's go to the con. It opens up in about 20 minutes. We're gonna head down there and see what we can find on the last day. And I just want to say thank you too for everyone. We got a lot of followers, a lot of good things going while we were here. Actually, one of my reels on Instagram at Tesla Tech Travel is actually up to 257,000 views at the timing of this. Most views I ever had on anything, so cool, thank you. Hopefully we can get some more followers on the YouTube channel where this is going. Of course, if you're watching this, you're already watching YouTube, so you're not my target audience at this point. All right, guys, let's head over to the convention. Maybe get some breakfast first, because the convention's open today from 10 to 5, and I really don't think we're going to be there for 7 complete hours. It's last day. Maybe we'll head downtown Disney for some Easter dinner, because I'm by myself. Don't feel bad. That was my choice when I booked the trip. We didn't realize it was Easter weekend. That's life, I guess. I gotta call my wife, call my kids, make sure we FaceTime and say hi to each other, and then I'm gonna be off. All right, guys, next stop, either the convention or breakfast. I haven't decided yet, but let's go. And for those of you who have been part of the saga the whole time, you realize I came up here and forgot shoes, so I had to buy a pair. So I ended up getting a pair of Jordan 11 lows that I've always wanted. So hey, why not? Because they're actually on sale. Foot Locker and had them in stock. That's always the issue I run into in Tucson. No one ever has shoes in stock. And I'm weird. I hate buying shoes and stuff like that online because you never know how it fits until you actually get it. So I'd rather just go buy it in person. And kind of a way to control your spending habits too. Like even with comic books, there's certain books I know I can go and get online very easily, but I have a rule. Unless I actually see it in person and actually get to talk to the person I'm buying it from, I try not to buy it. Maybe there's exceptions. There's a few books I bought online that it's the only way I could get them, but they're reputable dealers who I knew, sort of. My command center for the weekend. I think today I'm going to bring these with me. I'm going to try and do a live stream from the convention if my phone allows me. You know, I've never been to Disneyland on a major holiday before. I wonder how busy it actually is on Easter, seeing that it's actually rainy today and it's a holiday. Because I can tell you now, when I was walking around downtown Disney last night, it was pretty sparse. I was going to get breakfast, so I'm just going over to the convention. It opens in about 5 minutes. It took over 20 minutes to get down from my top floor. And sorry if it's really windy right now, it's a little bit rainy. But yeah, the elevators are down. They just haven't marked them yet, it looks like. Awkward morning so far. Yeah, it's a little bit awkward because I had a slight verbal altercation with someone trying to get on the elevator. The elevator itself was already really full. It was me, 2 sets of parents, and about 6 kids. We'd all been waiting on the top floor for like 20 minutes to get on our elevator. Well, get on the elevator, about 2 levels down, door opens up, it's obviously full. And this guy with a big wagon and 2 other people's like, all right, squeeze in. And I was like, hey man, it's pretty full. The reason I say this is, in order for any one of them, just one of them to get in, someone's gonna be crowding these families. I'm talking about like up against the parents or the kids. Like I barely fit in there. In fact, I was gonna wait for the next one. The guy told me to jump in. So the guy's like, nah man, there's room. I was like, no, there's really not. There's not. So I pushed the close button. He made some comments. I may have made a comment back. So I get down, I go let the front desk know, hey, the elevators on the other side of the hotel aren't working. They had no idea. Then right now as I'm walking by, I walk by again, the dude's still saying stuff. So I said something back, he said something back, and I'm now walking to the park. He's probably still talking back there, I don't know. Granted, the convention just opened, but so far, not as nearly as big of a crowd as there was yesterday at the same time. So one thing I'm gonna do today is probably record with my sunglasses. I don't know if you can tell right now, there should be a light flashing because it is recording. But it'd be also awkward wearing them inside, so we'll see. Hey everybody, live coming from WonderCon. On our way in, just walking down the sideway. Decided to try out the glasses again here and give you guys a little sneak peek of what it's like to walk in. I'm also recording my regular camera. Hi. And I just want to say thank you to everybody. The last reel that we did is up to 275,000 views. And hopefully we added like 50 or 60 new subscribers. So, and it's Sunday, so a lot of places are packing up early, so that's why I'm hoping to get some good deals today. But that's up to everyone else here, I guess. Breakfast of Champions right here. And one thing I didn't do was get a Dole Whip while I was at Disneyland. It looks like I'll have an opportunity here. Just finished the breakfast, did a quick walk around real quick to the comic area. Now I'm gonna do what I said earlier. I'm gonna walk down each and see what's going on. Oh my god, I don't know what's going on here, but I love this technology. Hi, Wally. Now we're starting our walk down Artist Alley. Like I was saying, I don't tend to show a lot over here, only because a lot of this is original artwork and original creations of these people, and I don't want to accidentally show something without their permission. However, I also want to advertise them because this was me when I go to shows. I have booths in these sections on purpose because it's my original creations, my original IP, and I want to share it with folks just like they're doing. I do have a caveat though. There's a lot of folks that draw characters they don't own the IP for, and they just recreate stuff. Those ones I don't mind showing because, oh, it's fan art. No, you're recreating and repurposing and reselling something you don't own the IP for. This is Artist Alley. Show me your stuff, things that you made or things that you're loving and passionate about, your interpretation. And for example, that's my little soapbox of the show. But let's go see what we see. And also by doing this, I can find out once and for all if Stevie Englehart really is here or not. Because still haven't seen him anywhere and no one else has seen him either. And there he is finally. I just did not come far enough ever. And wouldn't you know it, the book I really wanted him to sign, I left back at the hotel in the safe. This one I already have signed by George Perez and Marv Wolfman. That's just how my luck goes. But I know where he is now, so even after this I just run back and grab it real quick. But I also know if he's charging, I want to see how much he's charging, so that'll help me determine what and if I want to get signed. Certain books, I'm definitely getting something signed by him. I just don't know just how much yet. The books I do have with me is Defenders number 3 and Luke Cage number 5, first appearance of Black Mariah. Of course I just walked right by him. He's heading to the bathroom or something. Now the question is, do I take this opportunity to go and grab the other book I need, or do I just... I think I'm gonna go grab the other books. I need batteries too. I'll be back. I guess it's just par for course this weekend. Bless you. So I'll go home, back to the hotel, grab those, and literally come right back. And I have to say, as comfortability goes, these are probably the more comfortable Jordans I've ever had. So I'm glad I picked them up. Oh, I forgot about the elevator. Let's see if that's working yet. I hope so. That's more walking. Going up. All right, mission accomplished. Let's head back, and hopefully he's back at his table. If not, if we missed him after I finally found him, well, that'd be par for course this trip. Let's head back. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned it yet. I actually have reservations tonight at Pixar Place, the new hotel, to try out the Maple restaurant, Maple Cafe. I can't remember the name of it now, but the newest restaurant that's available there. So yeah, we can have dinner on Disney property one more time. Good times. This one's for you, Eric. You know who you are. Dang it! I swear this, I feel like Doug Benson trying to find Morgan Spurlock at Comic-Con. He must be in a panel. And with the time right now, I'm gonna assume he is in a panel because it's now 11:50 and I saw him maybe about 40 minutes ago. It's probably a panel from like 11 or 11:30 to like noon or 12:30. So I'll do my rounds a little bit more and we'll come back and check. But I have all the books I need now and I know where he's at. Oh, that's gonna be a bummer if I don't get him. I found a book I've been looking for a while. It's a lower grade copy. I had an opportunity to buy a higher grade at a decent price. But something I talked about in a previous video is you buy a book, sometimes it depends on who you're buying it from. Had I found this book at any other booth, I would have bought it at any other booth. Two of the guys there, one of the guys, I'm just gonna say, he was a jerk. As soon as I asked about negotiating price a little bit, not even a crazy amount, I asked if he could do a 40 bucks off. He went, why? This is a common convention. I've never been to a convention where we didn't negotiate price. That's the whole point. They mark it up, you kind of beat them up a little, you meet in the middle at the correct price. That's how it goes at a convention. That bothered me, but I really want to get this book signed by someone specific, and I've been looking for it for a while, so I'm excited to get it signed. Let's head over there, actually. Judging by the line waiting, I'm assuming he's back, and I'm not the only one. If you're going to get stuff signed at a show, make sure you have everything ready to go for the artist or the writer. Don't be that guy. Don't hold up the line. I think it's finally going to happen. Despite the one guy I bought this from not being so nice, I am so happy right now. This is one of my favorite titles, some of my favorite characters. I think this is the big book of the show for me. Normally I would wait to show you, and I'll show you the other two I got signed, but this is the book I picked up from that guy, Defenders 1. That really made me happy. So let's just go enjoy the rest of the show. See if there's anything else we want, anything else we find that tickles our fancy. There's one book in mind, but I don't know, maybe I'll wait back home because I know my friend at his shop has the same book. Maybe we can talk. So as we talked about on the show before, I've written a handful of comics in the past for different places, including independently. So Steve Englehart and I were talking, and I was like, yeah, I just told the story how I just missed him a few times, and it's been weird. And I said, yeah, last time I assuming you ran to the restroom or something. He goes, oh, well, you know, you gotta go to the restroom sometimes. I was like, no, I get it. And I told him about a time I got, I think, a bladder infection at a convention where I held it for as long as I could to be on the floor, as long as I could to try and sell stuff. And I was like, never again. He goes, oh, okay. I'm like, ooh, I apologize. That was way too much information about my bladder. Okay, this is a personal harp when it comes to conventions, and this is a good thing. See how there's pretty much a clear aisle down the middle? That's how it should be. If you're looking at stuff, step off to the sides. If not, let room for everyone else to walk down. I know it's called a Comic-Con, but realistically it's a pop culture con. I mean, it has a little bit of everything for everybody. Everything from toys, cosplay, gaming, for example, D&D stuff here. I love these conventions because it really is designed to unite people and bring everyone together. So despite what I said about the guy earlier who was not so nice, that doesn't represent the conventions as a whole. That was a one-off. Everyone you run to at these shows is super nice and super appreciative, and it's not like running into professional athletes or actors where they just want to be kind of left alone. I mean, heck, Todd McFarlane, who's kind of the new Stan Lee, now that Stan has passed, like, he's the guy that everybody knows because of Spawn. I think he was just walking around the floor like anyone else, talking and saying hi and taking pictures. That's what I love about these shows. Everyone's on equal footing. All right, Eric and Bree, this is going out for you. I'm gonna make one more attempt. You know what I'm talking about. All right, Bree, Eric, I found him, and I'm getting artwork. Stop yelling at me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually super excited to read this novel. I'll probably read the whole thing tonight. Sounds like an interesting story, and I'll put the information down below so you can check it out as well. So usually at these conventions, one thing I try to always do is get original artwork, because I love collecting original artwork, especially from like creators of titles that I absolutely love. This one actually isn't for me though, and I'll show you right now. I'll show you the book later because I'm super excited for it. It's a graphic novel by a friend of a friend. There we go, got the books put away, we'll talk about that later. But he actually was an artist for IDW, specifically on the Transformers series. And as you guys who follow our show know, Henry loves Transformers and especially Megatron. So that one's gonna go up in Henry's room. It's his until, well, it's mine until he really appreciates it, then it'll be his one day. Battery's about to die. First time it's happened at the show. Been recording a lot today. I'm excited for you guys to see what we've seen. Here's a better look now that I got the new battery in there. It's me, Megatron. I'm sorry about that. That's why I don't do voiceover work. I leave it up to my betters, like Robert over there at Late to the Party. He's one of my favorite like impressionists and voice people ever. I wish he would do voice acting. I mean, I'm sure he wants to, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. It's just about 1 o'clock. I figured we go make our last rounds around the comic book area, see if there's anything else we can't live without. But, you know, I'm pretty satisfied with what I got, so good times. Now everything from here on out is just a bonus. Visiting with Jeff again, checking out some of his books. If you haven't, I know I've talked about on the show in the past though, the I Freaking Love You series is some of my favorite books on the market. All the way from him and Trisha meeting his wife, and all the way with their kids. It's the stories of being a parent, and they're so funny because they're so accurate. We were just talking about some of our own kids' stories back and forth. And this one here, I actually just picked up this book myself. I love it because it reminds me of all the conversations we have, and reminds me of all the reasons I don't trust my wife because she chose me. All right, but I'll put some links down below so you can check out Jeff's stuff. You can find him at most conventions in Arizona and even here in Southern California. He's actually, I'll put up a link too. He did a cover for us years ago. And actually, I got a funny story about that for you. I don't know if I've ever told you. Here, we'll talk real quick. Okay. I gave Jeff the more detailed version of the story. I'll give you the short version. Jeff did a variant cover for us years ago for my book, Brief History in Time, the second issue actually. And I was at a small comic book shop in northern Arizona, and they had it on the wall and as a wall book. And they were asking $30 for it. Being that I wrote it and I produced it, I'll be honest, I love my work, it's not worth $30. So I asked the guy, like, hey, why is it so expensive? And he explained to me, like, oh, it's an artist down in Phoenix that drew the cover. It's a 1 out of 4 variant of this book. And he told me a bunch of other stuff. I was telling Jeff, he told me stuff about my book I wasn't aware, being the guy that wrote it and produced it and distributes it. So apparently it was going to be optioned for a show. It's weird stuff, right? So I tell the guy, well, do you buy copies? He said, yeah, it's a rare book, so we buy them when we see them. I was like, cool, I got like a garage full of them, dude. It was just a funny story. But hey, it made me feel good for exactly like 4 seconds in life. All right, Jeff's holding on to my artwork for me, so I have free hands. I'm gonna go back and do one last walk through the comics, and then I think I might call it a day. Actually, I guess at this point I'd be calling it a show. Picked up another book. Cool part is not one that was actually on my list, and I didn't even know I wanted. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I have to have that. So I can't wait to show you guys. Well, I think I just picked up my last big boy book for the show. So we're getting ready to close out here, but maybe a couple more things before we head back. We also have dinner tonight, so let's not forget. I think we're about to call it a day. It's been a great trip, great visit. I've had a lot of fun, made some new friends. Hopefully gonna go on a private tour of their facility in San Diego pretty soon. It's been a lot of fun. Glad I made the trip. And oh, hey, it's just nice to see you again.
What's going on?
Sorry, you're on my vlog now. I apologize. I should have asked first.
That's good. Here we are. I don't know if you have sound on right now. But.
Oh, you guys, my microphone right here. Oh. There we go. So hey, for those of you in the hobby like I am, meet Swaggle Haas. I love your show, man. I watch it all the time. It's like I like watching someone that has the same appreciation for the hobby that I do. So thank you very much for everything you do, man.
Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate you saying that, and it's been great to meet you.
It was great to meet you too. I'll let you back your thing. So I just saw you on the side here, and it's like, oh, hey, I know him, sort of.
All right. Well, I look forward to the montage here.
All right, it's good talking to you, man. Have a good show. Well, that was fun. So that's a good way. It's a good place to end the show here. So, yeah, a lot of fun. We chatted a little bit yesterday. I picked up his book again. Now I'm hungry. We're gonna stop by our friend Jeff's booth, pick up our stuff. And I think that's it from WonderCon 2024. Wow, that was unexpected, sorry. I picked up a few more books and I can't wait to show you guys tonight here. That was a nice way to end the video. And we're back at the hotel. So let's talk about those books I picked up today to end WonderCon 2024. Well, let's start off with the three you already kind of saw. And let's talk about those just a teeny tiny bit here. So what you saw was, I got Defenders #1. It's signed by Steve Englehart. But I got two more books signed by him as well. This is a low grade copy. I think if I sent this in to get graded right now, flipping through it a little bit, you got off-white pages. I'm gonna say probably a 4.5. It's a 4 to a 4.5. 5 if I get the right grader on the right day, but I think it's a 4 or 4.5. But this is a book I've always wanted in my collection, and also just to meet Steve Englehart was really, really cool. Definitely worth the time and the search for Mr. Englehart. The next one is Luke Cage #5. This is the first appearance of Black Mariah. So Mariah, if you've seen the TV show, was basically his arch enemy through seasons 1 and 2. I really, really enjoyed the show. I love Luke Cage as a character and as a hero. And honestly, I didn't realize this was the first appearance until after I picked it out to bring here, because I think this is the issue where Steve Englehart took over writing the series. And this one's actually a really cool heavy hitter book. So the late George Perez is one of my favorite artists and one of the nicest human beings I've ever met in my life. And he took over drawing the Avengers between the pencils on issue 141. So years ago, I got George Perez to sign this book. Well, at this convention, I was able to get Marv Wolfman, who was the editor-in-chief at the time, and Steve Englehart, who was the writer on the book. So I have all three major people on the book, and this is a good one this is one of my favorite books in my collection. And I'm so stoked to have all three of the creators on here now. And I guess you can call Marv Wolfman a creator on it, because reality, he was the editor-in-chief at the time, not necessarily a creator. But he had created so many amazing properties and worked directly with these two. It's like all the books I have that's signed by Roy Thomas. Although Roy Thomas may not have worked on them directly, he was the editor-in-chief of Marvel at the time, was basically directly responsible for those books' existence. Next book is an independent book. It's called The Kill Lock. It's actually done, and I apologize ahead of time if I mispronounce this, Livio Ramondelli. He's friends with a good friend of mine. If you've followed me in the past, you know I've worked on a book called The Raven and a book called The Inner Circle, and I did that in conjunction with my really good friend Eric Schock. Well, Eric and this gentleman here are really good friends, and they told me you need to stop by and check them out. And I'm so happy I did. This book sounds really cool. If you're into science fiction, like let's say Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep type stuff, I believe this falls under your wheelhouse. But that's not all I got from him. I also got this, an original piece of art. So the other thing that this gentleman did, Livio, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing it. He was actually an IDW artist working on Transformers at one point. And those of you who follow my videos in the past, my oldest son Henry is obsessed with Transformers and robots, specifically Megatron. Which leads me to believe he'll most likely take over the world in some hostile takeover. Because Megatron's who he looks up to and he wants to build robots when he's older. Crazy kid. Next up, as we've talked about earlier in some of our previous videos recently, and on this trip, I'm a huge Ninja Turtles fan. So as I was leaving for the day, I looked up and I saw this book randomly on the shelf. It's Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #4, right? Yep, #4. I saw it and I know this cover. That's the first appearance of the Rat King. So with Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I have the first appearance of Leatherhead and now the Rat King. They were asking a decent, like, they were asking $60 for this book, and between you and I think that was a little much for the book, but we came to an agreement at $45, which I think maybe still a little high, but it's a book I don't ever actually see, so in our industry, in our hobby, if you see it, jump on it. 2 books left. So I'm a huge Invincible fan. With the success of the TV show, it's getting harder and harder to find certain copies. I'm still missing a handful, as I'd like to get the complete set at some point. There was a couple folks. There was one gentleman, unfortunately. Well, not even worry about that. We'll just talk about the book I did pick up. We made a new friend at the show. His name's Kevin. He was fantastic. We actually bought Hulk 180 from, well, it's not from him, but from the table he was working at. I was looking at his books as well, and I picked up this one from him. It's one of the books I'm missing. It's Invincible number 45. And with the infamous, issue 110 situation, I believe this is her second appearance. If you don't know what I'm talking about, can't say it on YouTube, you'll have to look at Invincible 110 or go watch the most recent episode of the Invincible TV show there on Amazon Prime, and you'll get why this character is kind of, well, people are getting those books right now. But yeah, this is cool. So another one I can chalk off my list from Invincible. And last but not least, my last big boy purchase of the show. So if you've been following our WonderCon videos, this is video number 3. On the first day, I accidentally dropped and broke a case of a book I was interested in buying anyway, so I ended up buying it from our friends over at Blue Chip Comics. It's called La Masa. It's actually the first appearance of Wolverine. You might be used to me saying 181 for Wolverine. No, this is the first version of, well, the first appearance. It's just in Spanish. It came out in 1979. Cool thing about that book, it's already signed by Roy Thomas, and it's signed by Herb Trimpe on the inside. Video after that, or yesterday, depending on which way you're going, I ended up purchasing Hulk 180, which is, in my opinion, the actual first appearance of the Wolverine. Yes, it's just a cameo. He shows up on the last page, but is that not the first appearance? You can't... this is his first appearance. He's in the last book. Yeah, we don't worry about that one. We want this one. No, it was his first appearance, in my opinion. So I figured, okay, if I got the first appearance, the second appearance, let's get the third appearance. Incredible Hulk 182, the third appearance and cameo of Wolverine. So now I have first, second, and third. The first one does have an asterisk behind it, but it still counts. I mean, go in the comments below. Tell me I'm wrong, prove me wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. You're wrong. No, I'm kidding. But those were my pickups from the last day of WonderCon. And thank you guys for watching this video. It's meant a lot for me. We've had a great weekend. We had definitely some ups, definitely some downs, but we made it through. And I just want to say a special thank you to my family for letting me come and enjoy myself, because we did not realize it was Easter weekend when my wife told me to book the trip for myself. But here we are. I get to go home tomorrow, and we'll see what adventures we get in with more comic book stuff back in Tucson. But hey, if you made it this far, please feel free to like our page and subscribe. We do everything from Tesla, tech, travel, comic book stuff, obviously. So we just try to have a whole wide gamut of what we do on this channel. So follow along with us, take a ride, and maybe you'll enjoy yourself. And if not, well, there's plenty of other stuff to watch on YouTube. Thanks for taking a ride with us this time. Bye-bye, everybody. Talk to you again soon.